We are back in one of our favorite cities of all time, San Francisco.
And we're excited to take you along on this action-packed adventure.
So let's do stuff.
I'm Tara. That's Lucas. We're on a quest for new adventures and great food. Come along with us as we explore our incredible world. Spanning the northern end of the city from east to west, from the Presidio to the Embarcadero, Lombard Street is just a street, until it isn't. Between Hyde and Leavenworth, 8 hairpin turns take you down the hill. At the time that the street was constructed, 27 degrees was way too much for the cars of the time to handle, so they put in these switchbacks to facilitate easier driving. Manicured bushes line the brick streets, and from the top you can catch amazing views of the Golden Gate Bridge and the Embarcadero.
Now let's hop in the car and see what all the fuss is about. In San Francisco Bay, about 1.25 miles from the city, lies Alcatraz Island. Developed in the mid-19th century with a lighthouse and military fortifications, it's best known for its 29-year history as the home of the infamous Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. Strong ocean currents around the island and frigid water temperatures made escape all but impossible. Since the prison's closing in 1963, the island has become a major tourist destination, with facilities managed by the National Park Service. Visitors can access the island via a roughly 15-minute ferry ride, departing from Pier 33 in San Francisco.
Well, we've arrived on Alcatraz.
Let's take a walk through history and explore this place.
Built for the worst of the worst the prison system had to offer, the Rock housed Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, and the famous Birdman. Daily life on Alcatraz was harsh, and prisoners had only 4 rights: medical attention, shelter, food, and clothing. Everything else had to be earned. Of the 14 attempts to escape from the prison, one in particular stands out in that it's the only one that was possibly successful. On June 11, 1962, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin, using tools such as spoons and forks, chiseled through moisture-damaged concrete and into an air vent, leaving papier-mâché heads in their bunks. Officials were convinced that they perished in the escape, but many assert that they survived. In 1964, a group of native people seeking to draw attention to past injustices claimed the island under the Treaty of Fort Laramie. A community of 89 people occupied Alcatraz for 19 months before being removed by the U.S. government.
Well, for going to prison, that wasn't all that bad.
We got out very easily.
Escaping from Alcatraz, not all that hard these days. But on a serious note, we learned a lot. This is my 3rd trip here, and I'm still learning stuff each time. I guess this time my takeaway is that recreation yard and that beautiful view of the city from the recreation yard while you're playing baseball surrounded by razor wire and seeing a beautiful city like San Francisco is just tantalizingly close. Must have been so torturous.
Yeah. Since we've been here last, they've added a really interesting new exhibit that we got to walk through at the end, and it focuses on mass incarceration in the United States. It was a really, really well done exhibit.
You can only hope that people get educated and learn something, and maybe things will change for the better.
More people need to know about it for sure, and I think they're doing a really great public service.
Yeah. Let's get back on the boat, go grab some dinner. Developed in the 1970s to boost tourism, Pier 39 draws thousands of tourists every day, but it's really just a themed outdoor shopping mall. We stopped here for a quick dinner. Though we didn't have time to check them out on this trip, many are drawn here by the sea lions, who rest nearby.
Good morning. First stop is coffee, and we stopped at Coffee to the People here in the Haight Ashbury. Coffee to the People is a cozy family-owned coffee shop that stands for equality, empowerment, and liberty, and they serve fair trade coffee and chocolate. The drink that I got is one of their specialty drinks. It's called Chocolate for the People, and it's essentially an iced mocha, so we're gonna give it a try. Nice and rich, chocolatey, creamy, smooth, just a little bit of an espresso flavor. I'm sure it'll get me going.
We are in the Haight Ashbury neighborhood, the notorious epicenter of San Francisco's counterculture in the 1960s.
Growing up, we were both heavily influenced by hippie culture. We both have several members of each side of our family who would have considered themselves hippies.
On this channel, we're not really big on celebrity worship, but some of the people that lived in this neighborhood were very influential in the development of our culture. And I imagine some of you would probably be interested in seeing some of these houses, many of which are actually quite beautiful on their own, but have interesting history. The house behind me is 710 Ashbury, and for 2 years between 1966 and 1968 it was home to the Grateful Dead. There are quite a few interesting stories about it, but in 1967 there was a big narcotics bust where they found over a pound of weed and arrested 2 members of the band. Apparently those charges were dropped down to a $200 fine somehow. I'm not really sure how they worked that out, but wow. Pound of weed in 1967, $200 fine? Okay. But the house is gorgeous, and I can only imagine the stories that came out of that house.
I'm standing in front of 635 Ashbury, and in 1967, Janis Joplin moved to the second floor apartment with her lover Peggy. And in June of that year, she would rise to fame after performing with Big Brother and the Holding Company at the Monterey Pop Festival.
The house I'm standing in front of is 1235 Masonic, and this house has less to do with fame and more to do with infamy. The story goes that in February 1974, the Symbionese Liberation Army kidnapped Patty Hearst, daughter of one of the richest and most powerful men in American history, William Randolph Hearst. They held her here for ransom, demanding that her wealthy family print their manifesto and create a multi-million-dollar food bank to feed the impoverished citizens of San Francisco. She was with the group for around a year and even began participating in some of their activities, going so far as to participate in a bank robbery. Some experts believe it was Stockholm Syndrome, and others think maybe she was swayed by their rhetoric.
The house behind me is 2400 Fulton Street, and in 1968 the Jefferson Airplane purchased this house for $70,000 after the success of Surrealistic Pillow. They painted it black, and not surprisingly, it was known as a party house. For breakfast, we're here in the Castro at Kitchen Story. They serve California cuisine with that touch of Thai flavor. And the first thing I got today is the black sesame soy latte. Has edible flowers on top and it looks just beautiful. They also do this Millionaire's Bacon thing, and they have bacon flights and all sorts of different flavorings that they put on them. We got the candied Millionaire's Bacon. It looks amazing. Oh my gosh. And for my entree, I got the Frisco Benedict. It's on a nice fresh piece of toast with chicken mango sausage and avocado, 2 poached eggs, and hollandaise sauce. They also serve it with these rainbow potatoes that look really beautiful. Let's give it a try. Got a little spiciness and some sweetness from the mango sausage, richness from the avocado and the hollandaise, the eggs perfectly poached. There's some little baby greens on top. Everything is just beautifully presented. It's really some interesting and unique flavors in sort of traditional brunch items, and I really, really think it's a great idea. Awesome.
Our next stop is one of my favorite places in the world. One of the most majestic and iconic structures on Earth, the Golden Gate Bridge. Alright everyone, we are on the Golden Gate Bridge. We walked out here to the PG&E Tower, the first tower if you're headed north. And we are just looking out at the view, the city, Alcatraz, Angel Island, Marin Headlands. It's the Golden Gate here with the windsurfers and all the boats and everything. It's beautiful.
Really, really cool. And also very windy.
Extremely windy. We're in a little alcove that the tower provides, but once you exit this, it's just super windy. You wouldn't be able to hear a word we were saying.
Yeah. And it's cold, so bring your jacket.
And also, brace yourself for a ton of information coming at you right now.
Spanning 1.7 miles across the Golden Gate Strait, the Golden Gate Bridge was the longest suspension bridge in the world when it opened in 1937. One of the 7 wonders of the modern world, it's a cultural keystone representative not only of the city, but of the country. The Golden Gate Bridge is a symbol of power and progress, and it set precedent for suspension bridge design around the globe. At the southeastern end of the bridge, a tourist plaza has a gift shop, a coffee shop, and interactive educational exhibits about the construction of the bridge. We want to show you the place we've been staying here in San Francisco. It's an Airbnb, and accommodations in San Francisco can be really pricey. We found a great deal on this one. It's kind of a unique situation. It's in the Sunset, and the person who runs it has taken the bottom floor of their house, and they've got 4 rooms just like this, and a little shared kitchen for those rooms. Each room has a private entrance and a private bathroom. We've also got a full-size bed and a little desk area. And a nice little private bathroom with a sink, toilet, and shower tub combo. We'll drop the link for the Airbnb down below in case you want to stay here. We recommend it.
Alright y'all, we are in San Francisco in front of Oracle Park to see the Washington Nationals take on the San Francisco Giants. Let's go check it out. Located in the Soma neighborhood of San Francisco, Oracle Park has been the home of the Giants since it opened in 2000. The highlights of the stadium's design are born out of necessity due to the space constraints of the site it was built upon, the San Francisco Bay cutting into what would have otherwise been right field, which leads us directly to the stadium's most unique feature, the right field wall, 24 feet high in honor of Willie Mays, with McCovey Cove directly on the other side and its ever-present armada of kayakers eagerly awaiting the rare splash home run.
Well, it is an absolute madhouse here, and the lines for food are like 30 people long. So we walked by where they had all the chicken fingers, and then off to the side, there's a place called Pita Gyros, and they've got pita, gyros, falafel, great stuff. So we got a chicken gyro, falafel pita, and some hummus. This is the chicken gyro. It's got like tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, sauce, hummus, all sorts of delicious things, and chicken on a pita. It's not the best pita I've ever had, but it's good. It's sort of healthy, pretty hearty portion, The chicken's tasty. That'll do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a final here, and unfortunately the home team has fallen quite hard. 14-4, Washington over the Giants, but at least we get some fireworks.
Built for the 1915 Panama Pacific Exhibition, this rotunda was built in the Beaux-Arts style and was intended to evoke a ruin in ancient Rome. In the first year it was open, the Palace of Fine Arts saw 19 million visitors. Originally one of 10 pavilions, this one, by local legend Bernard Maybeck, was so beloved that it's still here. Rebuilt in 1964 over 10 years, it's now available for events and weddings and open to the public daily. It's been a frequent backdrop for movies, appearing in over 20 films.
Thank you so much for coming along on this adventure to San Francisco.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and drop us a comment down below if we forgot your favorite thing from San Francisco. Maybe we'll come back and try it next time.
Be sure to take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future adventures, including our trip to Oakland, Berkeley, and the East Bay, which comes out next week, and we'll see you then.